results I see in terms of our health is our digestion. And so when we understand that there are millions of Americans who are suffering from digestive issues, who are taking, medication for heartburns, for gas, for bloating, for constipation, that's a good news. That's
right.
a good news, understanding that can be resolved really quickly. Another thing another aspect, as I mentioned, is skin conditions. I was surprised, actually, when I first started, because I focus on digestion first when I work with people. But I was surprised. It came as a surprise to realize that there's skin condition that I didn't even know my clients had, because we were focusing on something else, that those disappeared very quickly. Other things, like I mentioned, sleep. It's very quick when we start applying certain things, certain practices, certain strategies. We get to be able to sleep, to have a better quality of sleep very quickly as well.
Well, you offer a lot of courses and a lot of wonderful online tools to help us with things like our digestion and our thought process. And these are all on your website, LaureCarter.com, LAURECARTER.com. From in-depth one-on-one Ayurvedic consultations to weight loss programs and plant-based cooking classes, can you tell us about these programs you offer and how our listeners can contact you, Laure?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for this opportunity, Colette. So yes, you will find all of my different programs on my website. The best way, one of the things that I offer when you get on my website is a short Ayurvedic symptom assessment. So it's very different from Ayurvedic quizzes. I created assessment or symptom assessment because I realized that, or I heard from the many women I spoke to and speak to, that it's the Ayurvedic quizzes are all nice and well, but once they've taken them, they are nowhere closer to understanding, okay, so what can I do for myself? So I created this short Ayurvedic symptom assessment so that you can have a understanding of how Ayurvedic medicine works, as well as strategies that you can implement immediately and see results. So that's the first thing that you can have access to when you go on my website. And then I created a women-only online community. And the basis of it is Ayurveda. It's called Adventures in Ayurveda, Practical Wisdom to Explore Womanhood. Within this online community, which is, by the way, a free community, all women are welcome. I share many different practices, tips, as well as the women in the community, because have experienced Ayurveda, or even when they're new to Ayurveda, there is such an interaction and questions and sharing of ideas and experiences and stories. It's a very, very rich community if you're interested in Ayurveda to explore. And within this community, I also share my upcoming online courses, as well as if you sign up with to my newsletter.
Oh my goodness, I know the site has so many interesting avenues, and I love that, there's a little quote on your website that says the goal of this community is to be here to root for each other and to learn from each other. And I think that that's so true when you have this, when you have a community of like-minded, in this case, women, and And we can heal from listening to each other and exchanging information, can't we?
I absolutely believe this. Earlier during the week, I shared a post in the community about the fact that from my perspective, in my experience, there is never a being balanced happily ever after. It doesn't exist.
Right. Yeah.
And so when I shared why, and the reason why I was saying this is because I noticed that many women, including myself, have put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect. And even though intellectually we know that we are not perfect, it's impossible, we still have this pressure, this conditioning. And so it is time to let that go, because perfection, oftentimes, it is correlated to being in balance, doesn't exist. Balance is a practice. And when I shared that, I had one of the member in the community who shared her experience of when she read this, she felt so at peace. She was just really struggling with the loss of her grandfather. And with this, sorrow, with this deep sorrow, some of the things that she was doing for herself just, kind of fell off as she was just experiencing her emotions. And being able to see this post and hear that she shared how it just gave her the permission to just be herself. And she shared a picture of a tree that she had gotten used to going and sitting and meditating at during this time of loss. And it is a broken tree. It is a tree that is the roots, it's half of its roots are completely out. And it is broken, it is fallen, and it made her feel like she is this tree. And even though there are broken pieces of her, she still can share what she's meant to share in this world. So being broken doesn't take away from who she is and what she has to offer. And so these are the type of sharing of stories that we're experiencing. And yes, we heal from that. So many of us responded to her story and it made me cry. We heal from sharing our stories. Our circumstances may be different, but our emotions are the same. How we experience, how we are being human beings. We are human beings in the same way.
Oh, beautifully said. Beautifully said. LAURE, you have been practicing Ayurveda for many years. How do you believe your own health and wellness has benefited from making these choices? I know we don't have a lot of time left, but could you explain that?
Yes, absolutely. So as I shared at the beginning of the podcast, I deepened my understanding in Ayurveda when I was transitioning into menopause. I had debilitating physical symptoms that are usually related to menopause. And within 3 to 6 months of working with an Ayurvedic practitioner, I no longer had any of those symptoms. And so they completely disappeared. And 8 years later, I still don't have them. So I lost the weight gain. I do not have any hot flashes. I do not have any night sweats. I don't have any migraines anymore. They're completely gone. So this is how my physical health was affected. But what also happened for me, and I think for me it's the most important part, is that I accessed a true self-understanding.
Oh my gosh. I have to tell you, LAURE, we are totally out of time.
Yeah, I understand.
This has been absolutely enlightening. I am so grateful for you to come onto the show. You sound lovely on air, by the way. You have a beautiful, soothing voice. I just have to let you know that.
Thank you.
And again, thank you, Laure, for joining us on Yin Yoga Lifestyle. And if you would like more information about LAURE Carter, which is, you can visit LAURECARTER.com. And please, she has the most beautiful website. You can look and find something on her site that you can connect to. And I think more than likely you're going to connect to it all. Thank you again, Laure, for being with us today.
Thank you, Colette, for having me.
And please don't forget to visit yinyogalifestyle.com and subscribe to our newsletter. You can join daily live online yoga and meditation classes, and you can also find free yin yoga videos on our site. And if you're interested in joining us at Yin Yoga Lifestyle, your first yoga class is always free. You can even visit our Yin Yoga Lifestyle store and support the environment with each yoga mat you purchase. And if you're interested in giving the gift of wellness to someone special, please consider a customized Yin Yoga Lifestyle gift certificate. Just visit our website for more information. And thank you all for joining in Yoga Lifestyle, adding enlightenment, calm, balance, and creativity to your everyday life. I am your host, Colette Darville. Join us next time to continue our journey of balancing into a state of perfect harmony. Until then, this is Colette Darville, reminding you to inhale, sow, and exhale, hum.